Hello students, I am Mrs. Isha Kulkarni and I am going to teach you economics. So, in 12th standard, first chapter is Introduction to Micro and Macroeconomics. So, let us start. Look at this picture. Okay, what is this? This is microscope. So, what is microscope? So, it is a laboratory instrument used to examine objects that are too small to be seen by the naked eye. So microscope means being invisible to the eye unless aided by microscope. So this microscope is used in the laboratory to identify the small objects. Similarly, we have to study microeconomics first. So micro means small. Okay, so this microeconomics is popularized by Dr. Alfred Marshall. And because Alfred Marshall, he proposed an idea of the study of specific individual markets, and he focused on the microeconomics to understand the complete understanding of the market mechanism. So microeconomics, here in the definition it is given, microeconomics is derived from the Greek word micros, which means a small, a millionth part. Microeconomics is the study of a particular firm, households, individual prices, wages, incomes, individual industries, and particular commodities. So from this definition, we understand that micro means small. So in microeconomics, we have to study the small part of a thing or small part of an economy. So we don't want to study whole economy, but only a small part of the economy that we are going to study under microeconomics. So, for example, we can see that income of a Amit instead of national income. Okay, because national income, it is a part of whole economy. Instead of that, in microeconomics, we have to study income of a family of a Amit. Then next is the ABC company, then Tata Motors, price of a product. Okay, because price is very important and there are thousands of commodities available in the market, and whenever we go to the market to purchase something, we ask first price. So how this price is determined? Okay, so this is nothing but the microeconomics, or it is a part of microeconomics. So from these examples, we understand that microeconomics is a branch of economics that studies the behavior of individuals and firms in making decisions regarding the allocation of scarce resources and the interaction among individuals and firms. Okay, so microeconomics, it takes microscopic view of the economy. जैसे मैंने आपको माइक्रोस्कोप दिखाया था, तो हम छोटे छोटे ऑब्जेक्ट स्टडी कर सकते हैं. लाइकवाइज माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स इज ऑल्सो अ माइक्रोस्कोपिक व्यू ऑफ द इकोनॉमी. Okay, it is like dealing with individual tree in the economic forest. Okay, so that you have to remember. So microeconomics consist of looking at the economy through microscope to see how the millions of cells in the body of economy, which are the cells, different cells in the economy, means कौन कौन से सेल्स होते हैं इकोनॉमी. फॉर एग्जांपल इंडिविजुअल कंज्यूमर, बायर, इंडिविजुअल सप्लायर, प्रोड्यूसर, पर्टिकुलर फर्म, इंडस्ट्री, प्राइस ऑफ ए प्रोडक्ट. So these are the millions of cells in the body of economy, and in microeconomics we have to study how they play their part in the working of the whole economic organism. So that is nothing but the microeconomics. So from this example, or with the definition of microeconomics, we understand that micro means small. Okay, so with the definition and with the example, now we can clearly focus on the scope and subject matter of microeconomics. Okay, scope and subject matter of microeconomics means कि microeconomics में क्या क्या include होता है, what is included in microeconomics. Okay, so as we know that microeconomics, it deals with the small part of the economy. So that's why the scope of microeconomics is limited, because it considers only individual aspects of the economy and not whole economy. And that's why the main part is theory of product pricing, theory of factor pricing, and third is theory of economic welfare. Okay, so let us start one by one. First, we will discuss theory of product pricing. Okay, so what is this theory of product pricing? So as we know that there are thousands of commodities available in the market. Okay, हम जब भी market में जाते हैं, first we ask about the price of their product, then quality of the product. So how these prices can be determined? Okay, so demand and supply, these two things are very, very important to determine the price of a commodity. Okay, so from the demand side, we have to understand or we study the analysis of consumer behavior. And on the supply side, we study analysis of producers' behavior. Okay, so on the demand side, we have to study law of demand. On the supply side, we have to study law of supply. So these are the parts of the microeconomics. और ये microeconomic के scope में include होता है, क्योंकि demand कौन करता है? Consumer. Consumer ही market में जाता है, he purchase various commodities from the market. And supply कौन करता है? Producer, because he produces goods and services and then market में वो supply करता है. So from the demand side, we have to study consumer behavior, and from the supply side, we have to study producers' behavior. So this law of demand and law of supply, these are included in the scope of microeconomics. Okay, so अभी आपके मन में question आया होगा कि what is the consumer behavior and what is the producers' behavior? Means how they behave in the market with respect to changes in the prices. So see the next slide. Now let us focus on consumers' behavior. Okay, so we observe when the price rises or at a higher prices, we demand less commodities or we purchase less commodities. And when the price decreases, we purchase more commodities. So this is nothing but the consumer's behavior. Okay, कि जब भी प्राइस हायर होती है मार्केट में तो हम वो चीज कम लेते हैं, and when the price decreases, when price उसकी कम होती है, then we purchase more of that commodities. So there is an indirect relation between price and demand. So this is the consumer behavior. Okay, so ऐसा behavior रहता है consumer का with respect to changes in prices. Now, what is the producer behavior? Okay, so now all of you should be in the role of producer now. Okay, पहले हमने demand देखा तो आप consumer के role में थे, अभी हम producer का behavior देख रहे. So all of in the role of producer. So what producer do when the price is high or price at a higher price, producer will supply more quantities into the market. Okay, the question is why this happen? कि higher prices वो supply high क्यों करेगा? Because as producer, his aim is to maximize the profit or to earn more profit. It is the aim of every producer or every businessman. So at a higher prices, he will supply more quantities of commodities to the market. And when price decreases in the market, he will supply less quantities of commodities. Okay, so this is the producer behavior. And all this behavior we are going to study in the separate chapters. So after that, we will discuss in detail consumer behavior and producer behavior. Okay, consumer behavior में हम law of demand study करने वाले हैं, producer behavior में हम law of supply study करने वाले हैं. So at that time, I will again explain you what is the consumer behavior and what is the producer's behavior. Okay, so all these aspects are included in the microeconomics. Okay, so the next point we will discuss later. Thanks for watching video.